So what's better, being a real estate agent or being a real estate business owner? You know, the truth is that either journey is really hard. The question is, if you think about your professional life into the future, no matter where you are right now, look out 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, which path is gonna lead you to the life that you want to live? We all know an agent in their 60s or even in their 70s. They have no financial freedom. They have no freedom of time. They're still selling real estate. They have no plan to exit the business or at least step back from the business where they can earn more residual income versus kind of income that's active related to showing homes and taking listings. Are you achieving the kind of freedom you want, you know, making the kind of money you want and having the impact outside of your business, in your family and in your community? If you like these videos, give me the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn notifications on and leave me comments as well. So this pros and cons conversation about being a real estate agent versus being a real estate business owner, I want to have this discussion in the context of one of our members, Cody Riddle out of Phoenix, Arizona. When I met Cody, she was like 18 years in the business, a real estate agent, traditional real estate agent, 18 years in. You know, this was after the Great Recession, so she got beat up pretty bad. And she was down and out, and she fell out of love with real estate. And yet she was traditionally successful. She was still doing about 250 to 300,000 top line GCI, probably taking home about $150,000, working, you know, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, you know, evenings, weekends, didn't have much leverage administratively, you know, showing homes to buyers. The pros of that situation was that, you know, she obviously was able to overcome and survive in her market the shift that Great Recession decimated. You know, so the pro of being a real estate agent is that, you know, she didn't have many people to tend to. So she had a sense of independence in that she didn't have many people to lead or manage. She was able to play the role of a real estate agent at the highest level. So as a real estate agent, there's only, you know, a handful of skill sets that you need to be really, really good at. And if you're doing, you know, 25, 30 transactions a year, mostly referral, your business is not all that complicated. So that's another pro of being a top agent, right? Not a complicated business, you know, only a handful of skill sets, and it's pretty manageable. And you're not sort of overwhelmed thinking of all the different capabilities you need to build out. Those are the cons of, you know, kind of going the real estate team route. But let me go through the cons of being a real estate agent. You know, if you look at the hours that you put in, either you're super busy and you're having to work 7 days a week, or you're not super busy and the money's not there and you're stressed out wondering where the next deal is going to come from. You know, either way, this continuum of money, freedom, and impact, if you're not busy as a solo agent and you're not producing, the money's not there, you don't have freedom because you're stressed. Even if you have time, you're stressed, and that's a bondage in and of itself. And you can't have the impact in your family because you're not present because you're stressed. And so it's this vicious cycle between money, freedom, and impact that are the cons of being a solo agent, even at the top level. If you look at the journey that Cody made, and it took her about 4 to 5 years to go from, you know, $300,000 in that sort of solo agent mindset, 18 years in the business, honestly fell out of love with real estate, to where she is now. This year, she'll do over 1.5 million of GCI. She will take home more than half of that. She will work probably 50% less hours than she did as a solo agent. She works mostly on the listing side of the business, which is more sort of, you can control the hours of that side of the business. She just took 5 days off to do a Grand Canyon rim to rim run, right? Her husband, you know, just went hunting for 5, 6 days on a guy's trip. You know, they have freedoms now that they didn't have before. And so the pros of building a real estate team, building a real estate business is this, you know, you get to choose the things that you do in the business. So it's this series of delegations and elevations where you create these voids in your business and you have people to come and fill those voids. So the pro is that you have more time to do the things that you love outside of the business. Another pro, in my opinion, is that this journey allows you to learn different skills. So the reason we fall out of love with something and we're sort of done with it is because we've either mastered it or it's not giving us the same satisfaction that it once gave us. So 18 years in the business, it's easy to think how you can fall out of love with doing that same thing over and over again. So the pro of building a real estate team, or this journey, these stages of growth, is that every stage is going to make you uncomfortable in a good way because you're learning new skills and you're challenging yourself. So that's another pro. I would say another pro is that you're able to make more money per hour worked. We call that the business freedom index, right? If you're making, say, $150,000 a year and you're putting in 3,000 hours to earn that 150, that's $50 an hour. You know, how can we 5x your income? It's a combination of things. You can make more money and work less hours. So we can go from $50 an hour to $250 an hour. We can make $500,000 a year working 2,000 hours. Right? That's the math that we do at Real Estate B School. It's not always working more hours just to make more money. It's deciding the kind of money you want to make, the hours that you want to work, and how do we design this business around what you want to achieve. So that's another pro. I would say another pro is your ability to impact others. So your ability to serve your team members and allow them to achieve at a level that they never thought was possible. You know, Cody has agents on our team that came from earning $35,000 to $40,000 in the service industry, you know, being a bartender or a waitress or a waiter, and now they're making six figures on her team, right? They're working probably less hours in real estate than they were in the service industry, and definitely more predictable hours. They're not working the 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. grind that is the service industry that comes along with a whole bunch of bad habits and, you know, things that you probably don't want to get involved in if you want to live a bigger life. And she's able to double that person's income and have them work a more predictable work week, right? So that's a major pro for building a real estate business. I'd say the cons to building a real estate business are there's a little bit, at least more perceived risk, right? So if you go from 250,000 to 2.5 million of GCI, chances are you're going to have some overhead running that business. When you're a solo agent, you're selling 25 homes a year, you probably don't do any lead generation, you probably don't have any administrative staff, you probably don't have a physical office. So the con is that you have to make sure you have the right economic model in place. You have to make sure that you're looking at your financials, you have good tracking systems in place, all the things that we teach our members in Real Estate B School. Yet if you're not prepared to do that, you have to make sure you get those systems in place ahead of it. I'd say another con is that you are going to be disappointed by people that we work with. You're going to invite people into your world. You're going to think they have all this potential to succeed. You're going to train them for 2 or 3 months, and they're going to tap out and say, hey, this is not for me. And you're going to lose that time. That is 100% guaranteed to happen. So in Real Estate B School, we train you, we teach you how to come up with a agent onboarding system where 80% of onboarding a new agent is done via technology and sort of materials, a system that's created, and you're not having to do it all manually. If you hire 1 or 2 agents over the course of a year and everything is manual and they both leave, your willingness to go out and do it again is going to be really low versus if the system's built out already and you just put people through it. And same thing with your recruiting system and your hiring system. You know, we guard against some of those downsides of building a real estate team. I would say another con to building a real estate team is it's not a con as much as a risk, and I mentioned it just a second ago. It's making sure you do it on the right economic model. I know guys selling over 1,000 homes a year that aren't making money when they take out their own production, and it's all ego. We do not build businesses in Real Estate B School based on ego. So you need to check your ego before you play in our world, because the con is that you could build a business that isn't really sustainable and it's really not profitable. We don't want you to have a multi-million-dollar business that requires you to still sell homes. Even if you want to sell homes, we're going to set your business up so that you don't have to, and it's a choice rather than a requirement. So those are my thoughts on solo real estate agent versus, real estate business owner, and specifically how Cody went from 300,000 to 1.5 million, working 70 hours a week, hating real estate, to working less than 40 to 50 hours a week depending on the week, and how you could do that too. The process is a staged process. There are 6 stages of real estate business growth. We call it our real estate business growth navigator. So go to realestatebusinessgrowth.com. That's realestatebusinessgrowth.com. You'll get a copy of that free report. I think it's like 16 pages. It'll go through all the mindsets, all the tools, all the systems, what the team structure looks like, the hours you'll need to work at each stage, the amount of money you'll make per hour at each stage, the questions you need to ask yourself strategically at each stage, and what it takes to graduate from stage to stage to stage. So if you like these videos, make sure you give me the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications on, and leave me comments. We'll see you in the next video.